Good afternoon, depending on what time zone you're in. It's your boy Jimmy J Smooth. I'm gonna turn it up a notch just a little bit. I wanted to talk about one of my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? And he's not necessarily close to me, but he is a homeboy nonetheless. I want to talk about my homeboy Taurean T-Head Moore out of Memphis, Tennessee. Now, everybody in Memphis, Tennessee, or in the Tennessee area should know who this gentleman is. This gentleman is the third all-time leading three-point shooter in high school history. Of course, he's the all-time leading three-point shooter in the state of Tennessee. He's the second all-time leading three-point shooter in the state of Tennessee, single season and national. This dude, man, we talk about three-point shooters like Stephen Curry. We talk about people like James Harden. We talk about people like Kevin Durant, Ray Allen. The list goes on and on and on. In the NBA as of 2015, which this is recording right now. But there was a little guy out of Memphis. Well, not necessarily little because he's a lot taller than me. But there was a guy in Memphis I used to watch play basketball. And I didn't actually see him play till his senior year in high school, which was my freshman or sophomore year. I'm getting old, so guys, please forgive me. Being in your 30s, you start forgetting stuff, but I digress, so please forgive me. But anyway, when I first seen this boy play, it was almost like this boy could not miss a damn three-pointer. And I was going to the rival school of BTW, which is Oak Haven High School. We might not necessarily been the head rival like Carver or Mitchell, but we was a rival nonetheless, and that was the intensity of the rivalry. Now, for granted, I think BTW went 36-2 or 34-2, and we was one of the only other team that year to beat them. And it was two of those games where T-Head scored in less than double figures. From if my memory served me correctly, he scored 8 points, if I can remember. Yeah, it was 8 points in two of those games. One we won and another one we lost. But it was a guy by the name of Roy Green out of Oak Haven High, the coach's son, and he was one of the top 5 scorers in Shelby Metro. And I can tell you, man, I mean, the only way this boy could stop him was basically keep the ball out of his damn hands. So, with that being said, what ended up happening was Coach Horton, I can't remember his first name, but his name was Coach Horton. This brother found a game plan to get him the ball. Well, the next game, T-Head Taurean Moore ended up scoring 38 points on this boy. And he ended up shutting him down, holding him to less than double figures. I think it was around 9-7 points. And I remember him stating on one of the radio shows that he could play defense. This boy played defense like hell on this kid. And he ended up shutting him down. But what I wanted to say about this boy is this boy could shoot three-pointers with his eyes closed. I mean, that's how cold this boy. If the boy wanted to light up for 10 three-pointers, you can get it. If he wanted to light it up for 15 three-pointers, you can get it. I mean, the boy had $1 million friggin' jumper. When I say $1 million jumper, this boy was cold. When I say cold, he could outshoot Stephen Curry, and I will put my money on it. I will put $500. This boy will outshoot fucking Stephen Curry. That's how cold the boy is. The boy is awesome. He's not the number 3 3-point shooter of all time. He retired as the number 2 3-point shooter when he left, only to be ahead of a Carlisle kid and I think the kid out of California named Chad Bickley. That's the only people that had more 3-pointers in high school history. But however, if T Head had a shot more the same attempts he had in his last 2 years of high school, he would have easily shattered that record. That record would be to infinity to break. That's how bad this boy could shoot the damn ball. And out of the 507 3-pointers that Taurean T. Head Boy shot, I'll say right around 390 of them were shot in his last 2 years of high school. If you got the stat line T Head or Tim Barr or whoever listening or Shul Baloo, please correct me if you. But I ain't too. I know damn well I ain't too far off from the record. But I know because I know he had like 200, 180 something. Because he set the Shelby record, the Shelby Metro record. Two of those, the last 2 years of high school. He just shattered the Shelby Metro record in 3-pointers. That's how cold the boy was. And I mean, during that high school tournament, the state tournament, my gosh, he just went off, especially on Chattanooga Howard and this other team out in, man, it was just, the boy is just cold. This boy can shoot a 3-pointer from the other side of Houston, Texas to Memphis, boy. That's how cold he is, man. I mean, the boy was awesome. Now, of course, he had some personal problems that halted him from going to the NBA. But I guarantee you, the boy can still shoot threes. By the way, he does coaching camps and everything. I mean, I'm proud of him. I want to see another T Head, but it's gonna be hard, baby. But what even impresses me even more is that my boy T Head. What even impresses me more, how he influenced people to try to shoot like him. You get it, baby? How he influenced people to shoot like him, baby. Now, Memphis have always had good 3-point shooters. We can go all the way back to Todd Day, Ronnie Smith, Orion Watson, Elmer Martin out of Fairleigh, Deuce, I think it's named Deuce Ford. I mean, Corey Bradford, Robert O'Kelly. We've had some bad 3-point shooters. And even in his day, I think it was a guy out of Fairleigh that was a good 3-point shooter. I remember Ernest Shelton like yesterday. But the influence he had, everybody in Memphis, after this kid left high school, everybody in Memphis, I mean, you can't name a damn good 3-point shooter that came after him that was not influenced by him. The second best 3-point shooter I've ever seen out of Memphis was friggin' Randy Culpepper. That was the closest guy to T-Head I seen. If you seen any better, let me know out of Memphis, because that's the closest I've seen. But guys like Andre Hollins, Austin Hollins out of Germantown, those guys who were great 3-point shooters in their own right, those guys were influenced by it. It was people that's trying to get to shoot for that record. And a lot of times what ended up happening is those coaches end up pulling their players out, or they just got too 3-point happy and got taken out of the game or whatever, or just couldn't do it. But this boy shot 24 3-pointers on Manassas. Now, Manassas got rich basketball history, but, and this goes back to the influence. The person he shot 24 3-pointers on was a guy named Mario Lusk. Well, this kid ended up leading the Shelby Metro in scoring the very next year, averaging 27 points a game. T-Head was right around 30 points a game during his senior year in high school. I remember it like yesterday. Because I remember Rodney Green was around number 5, number 3, something of that nature. But this boy was cold. When I say cold, This boy was awesome. I wish the boy hadn't never went to jail. You know what I'm saying? His personal life is his personal life. You know, but you know what I'm saying? When I see a boy that cold, especially from my hometown of Memphis, because you know how bad Memphis is. Everybody, I ain't even got to state it. When I see a boy from my hometown is got destiny written all over it, got talent written all over it, man. I got props. I got props for the boy. I can't hate on him. The boy shut down my boy Rory Green at Oak Haven. So if he can shut him down, which couldn't too many people shut Rory down, just like couldn't too many people uh, couldn't shut no T head down. And the only way you shut him down is if you don't get the ball. But if he get that ball, you damn sure. And Rory said it himself. If he get that ball, he jacking that mug on your ass. That's how cold that boy is. But Mario Lusk, the very next year, who got them 24 threes in his eyes, or most of the 24 threes in his eyes, ended up leading the city in Memphis the very next year. And he ended up putting my Oak Haven High School team out. That's how crazy it is. Because the year we lost to BTW in the district championship, we ended up losing to Kingsbury like in the first round of the regional finals. I mean the regional championship, excuse me. And the next year we ended up losing to the very same dude that T-Head dropped off I don't know how many times in that game. It was ridiculous. I mean, I would have loved to see that boy in college because I'm still a big Memphis Tiger fan. I live here in Houston, Texas now, but I'm a real big Memphis Tiger fan. I would have loved to see that boy be in the blue and gray uniform. That's how much I love seeing that boy play. Even with me being a rival of this dude. Seeing T-Head is my equivalent of seeing Michael Jordan in high school. You know, seeing T-Head is like seeing Kobe Bryant in high school. Seeing T-Head is just like me seeing Thaddeus Young in high school, Penny Hardaway in high school. I mean, I've kept up with people before T-Head, but I've never seen nobody like T-Head in terms of who could not miss. This boy cannot miss. When they tell you this boy could not miss, this boy cannot miss. He never missed 2 in a row. He never missed 3 in a row from what I've seen. The boy is cold. The boy is cold. I give that boy my props. From a Oak Haven alum, class of 2003. Boy, you one cold boy. And all I gotta say, man, is man, keep up the good work in the community, man. I'm so glad the boy's out of prison. Keep up that good work, boy. You got nothing but love from me here, boy. So from your boy Jimmy J. Smooth out of Houston, Texas, I'm out. Peace.